Good. Hey everyone, my name is Christian Miller and I'm the second affirmative speaker. Claiming that teenagers under the age of 18 need to consent or notify their parents before they get an abortion. I'm going to start off refuting a few points from my opponent, and then I'll get into my major points of the argument. Edgar said that notification cut abortions by 6%, and he said that wasn't a big deal, but that's 6% more than zero, so it actually does make a difference. He was also talking about how when a minor notifies their parents of the abortion, they're likely to be shamed or guilted into getting the abortion. But an article by the CDC, an article named Unintended Pregnancy Prevention by the CDC, claimed that 79% of pregnancies from teenagers ages 15 to 17 are unplanned. So that means that they're getting pregnant off of mistakes, and they're not planning to do this. And a parent really can't get mad at a kid for mistakes and for messing up. And obviously, most likely when they're telling their parents about this mistake, they're going to be crying and they're going to be sad about it, and no parents can react like, get out of my house, I'm not mad at them. Another thing they said is that kids are going to get kicked out of their house and forced to get an abortion. But an article by Legal Match called Abortion Rights of Minors claims that minor females have a constitutional right to make their own decision on reproductive choices. The article goes on to say, a parent who tries to coerce a daughter to have an abortion may also face legal charges for child abuse or battery. So you really can't say that children are getting forced into abortion because parents are going to get charges for that. So transitioning to my major points, I'm going to talk about the three major advantages of notifying your parent before an abortion. There are many advantages to notifying your parents before an abortion, but I think the most important thing is simply the help that parents can provide to a young child. Remember, we're talking about kids ages 14 to 17. They're often too young to even know what to do in these instances, and they can also use all the help they can get. The first advantage of notifying your parent is that a parent will be able to help a minor select a better medical provider and possibly find an alternative to the abortion. The better medical provider, the safer the abortion will go. A 15-year-old girl might not know this, and if she does not tell her parents, she'll just go for the cheapest one because that's all she can afford. According to the Department of Health and Hospitals, it is stated that the cheapest abortions are often the most dangerous. Nearly 2% of all abortions that cost under the average cost for abortions, which is around $450, will result in either pelvic infection or blood clots in the uterus, while abortions that cost $450 or above the average have a 0.02% chance of that same infection. So to put those into realistic terms, they might seem like small percentages, but with compared to each other, you are 20 times more likely to get a pelvic infection or blood clots with cheaper abortions than with average price ones. So it's imperative to find a good provider in order to have a safe and effective abortion. And most children won't know these risks unless their parents get involved and help them. My second advantage is that parents who know their child has had an abortion in the past are more aware of post-abortion problems such as infections or hemorrhage. If caught early, these problems can be easily fixed, but if ignored or unnoticed, it can result in additional complications and even lead to death. There are a number of precautions that you need to take after an abortion that a child will most likely not be aware of. According to an article by Our Bodies, Ourselves, they give a list of symptoms to watch for after an abortion. The article states, here's a list of symptoms that may indicate a problem. If you have any of these symptoms, please contact your doctor immediately to get help. Heavy bleeding, lightheadedness, uterine cramping, fever, nausea, and bloating. Most of these symptoms can seem very minor to a child, but if the child does not get them taken care of, they can result in terrible complications. If a parent is notified of a recent abortion, they will know that a common fever may be a lot more serious than fevers in the past. My third and final advantage is that the parents can provide medical history that kids might not know, might not remember, or may be too embarrassed to share with their doctor. This is important due to the post-abortion psychology of the child. If the child is struggling with depression, is allergic to some kind of medication, or even has mental disorders, the stresses of abortion can be detrimental to the child, especially if the doctor is not aware of it. A parent knows their child better than anyone, and they can easily tell the doctor that their kid's struggling with depression or is allergic to some type of medication. And in turn, the doctor would give them medicine accordingly. Without parent notification, a child could get medicine that they did not know they're allergic to. They could get medicine is prescribed to them that they're going through depression and that'll exponentially grow their symptoms. But according to an article by New York Times, it is stated that the most common cause of fatal allergic reactions in the United States are medicines. The same article goes on to say, using data from the National Center for Health Statistics, researchers found 2,458 cases of fatal allergic reactions from 1999 through 2010. Almost 60% of those deaths were caused by reactions to medication. There are a lot more risk of a child getting an abortion on their own compared to getting a parent to help figure it all out. And that is why parental notification for minors getting abortions is extremely important to have. I hope you've all developed a better understanding of where I'm coming from and agree that we need to change this current law, that parental notification for minors be required.